A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on Sports Tonight, the first edition for the week. Right here in Lagos, I'm Yemi Adebayo.
It's always a delight to have you join us to talk sports. In London, I'm Austin Okorapan. Yemi, it's that sort of night for Nigerian football fans, but can we all just calm down and just be a little bit grateful that the Super Eagles made it to the playoffs?
Yeah, we should. It could have been worse. Hearts in our mouths, dying moments of that game. But we thank God the unthinkable didn't happen because it will have been something else. We live to fight another day. I guess that's just the moral of the story. We live to fight another day. Performance wasn't impressive at all. But of course, we'll do a post-mortem, look at all the things that went wrong and how we can make things better for the playoffs, especially now that we don't even know who we're going to be playing against. And of course, there are some matches currently going on. Interesting situation in Group B and Group D. We will be talking about that as we move on the show. And a lot of interesting things happening on the show tonight, Austin.
A lot of interesting things. We'll have an opportunity to speak to a football legend. Yes, you heard me, football legend. We've been talking about the Budweiser Game of Kings campaign, and we will be speaking to two international footballs. I was gonna say stars, but legends is what I should use. John Terry and Roberto Carlos will be coming to Nigeria. So, yeah, when we get to that segment, we're going to have a rock and roll section with John Terry.
All right, we'll do just that when the time comes to have that conversation with the legends of the game. All right, let me quickly introduce our partner in the Lagos studio. Of course, just quickly let him have his opening remarks. Then we go on to some of the things we want to talk about. Tolu Lokwe Atobatele joins us. Tolu, greetings to you. Thanks for being here. I know you have a lot to say, but first, thanks for joining us today.
Well, of course, I am not happy, this evening, seeing the way the Super Eagles played. Of course, it was so poor, but, well, maybe we can, get things better when we, get to play the playoffs, which comes up March next year.
All right, comes up March next year. And like I said, some interesting matches currently going on halftime in the game between Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire. It's a winner-take-all situation in that group. Cameroon currently leading in that game. If they win, they will be through to the playoffs. And the other situation that involves Tunisia as well, a very interesting situation, Austin. And I mean, it's going to be interesting. Hopefully, before we end the show, we'll be able to tell our viewers what will happen in those two groups. Yeah. I'm very sure you're monitoring as well.
Yeah, I mean, and at this stage, we've said it over and over again, no small teams in African football. Burkina Faso pushed Algeria all the way, right there in Algiers. It ended 2-2, in Group A. If Algeria had not done the job in previous games, they would have been in a tight situation today. So let's just, Nigerian football fans, just keep this result. It's 1-1. I know we always want to win in Lagos, but it's football where anything can happen. We'll put a pause on the 2022 World Cup qualifiers and get into this conversation that we talked about. We're super excited, pumped up to speak to a football legend tonight on the program. The Budweiser Game of Kings campaign is all about bringing two international football legends. And it doesn't get bigger than these guys when you talk about defenders that made a difference in world football. John Terry and Roberto Carlos will be coming to Lagos, Nigeria, guys. So get ready to see these legends. And the idea is not just to have them come meet and greet football fans. They're going to play a football match with selected players from the Nigeria Professional Football League. Beautiful, right? Wait for this part. Fans can get a chance to coach either John Terry's team or Roberto Carlos' team. Isn't that beautiful? So let's get into the conversation. He's right here in London with me. Let's welcome Chelsea legend, England football legend, John Terry. John, welcome to Sports Tonight.
Good evening, guys. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Good to have you on the show. Let's talk about your coming to Nigeria. It will be the first time for you. What have you heard about the country, Nigeria, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, I'm looking forward to coming. I've never been before. I've obviously a very good teammate of mine, John Obi Mikel, who's a legend. He's told me many times, JT, you have to come. It's a beautiful place. And you know what it's like when football gets in the way, we're very busy. So I've never been able to come. So now I'm retired. I'm looking forward to coming, meeting the supporters. I have a big following on social media from you guys, Nigerian fans. I'm looking forward to kind of the meet and greet. I'm looking forward to beating Roberto's team in a game. So many exciting things happening with Budweiser.
Thanks once again for joining us, John. Like you said, you have a large following here in Nigeria. But talking about Nigeria, Nigerian footballers, I'm very interested. You've talked about John Mikel Obi, but which Nigerian footballer do you know very well? Do you remember a lot about?
Yeah, well, I think the main ones in the Premier League were Kanu, JJ Okocha, very skillful players. I had the pleasure to play against these guys as well. And the thing that excites me about Nigerian players as well, that the flair they play with, a little bit similar to the Brazilian players as well. So much ability and both very, very difficult to mark as well. So those two would be, and like I said before, John Obi is my teammate and one of my very, very good friends.
Awesome. John, you've been out of the game for some time now. Talk to me, how much conviction did they give to you to accept to be part of this Budweiser Game of Kings campaign?
When you retire, if you give any ex-professional an opportunity to come and play, we're coming to play. But you know what it's like? We're very competitive, us guys, ex-professionals. So I'm coming to win. So whoever's managing my team, the players that are on my team, we're there to win. I know it's for fun, but I want to beat Roberto. Roberto's a legend, but I want to win. So it's going to be very competitive. Hopefully, a lot of fun as well. But a few tackles maybe.
That's good to hear. A lot of fans are very happy you're taking this seriously, John. And that will make us ask you, what should we expect? You talked about wanting to beat Roberto Carlos's team. And so what should we expect to be the outcome of the Budweiser Game of Kings match on Saturday? Hopefully you will have landed. You will have been able to be part of a team. So what's the possible outcome? What should we expect to see?
Well, hopefully the outcome is that the supporters, the players that are playing, are going to enjoy the game. Obviously, that's first and foremost. But I'm hoping maybe 89 minutes, JT header, and we win maybe 1-0 or 3-1. But no, listen, it's going to be loads of fun. We're going to see loads of skills. All of that side of it will be fantastic. Myself and Roberto probably is not as fit as we used to be, so the guys will have to take it a little bit easy on us too. But we're looking forward to it. We're very keen to come over and see you guys.
Awesome, John. John, we can't stop the comparison between players. Our football fans, we do this a lot, followers of the sport. And you and Roberto Carlos are legends of the game, when we talk about football. But who's better? I have to whisper it, John. Who's better between you and Roberto?
You don't have to whisper. Roberto's one of the biggest legends in world football. He played for one of the biggest countries. Listen, I was lucky I played for one of the biggest teams in the world in Chelsea. But for me, Roberto is a bigger legend than me. He's achieved what he's achieved in the game. And also he's a great guy as well. And the Nigerian fans will get to see that as well when they meet him. He's such a lovely guy. And we're both so excited to get there, guys. So he's a big legend. I'm sure he'll be signing more autographs than me. But I'm very excited to see the fans as well.
Okay, let me throw this in, John. The fans, I'm very sure the fans will be excited as the players that will be with you on the field. They would want to enjoy that game. So for the fans, for the players, are you promising to, like you've already said anyway, are you promising that you're going to make it fun, even though it's been a while you've played football, but you're going to make it fun for them?
100%. It has to be fun. That's part of the process, isn't it? Everyone's coming to enjoy it. Like I said before, the competitiveness, I think in all of us, whether you play against your children at, table tennis or football in the garden, whatever that may be, you always want to win. And I think we'll have loads of fun, so I guarantee that. we'll be seeing loads of skills. Like I said, a load of flair players from Nigeria. So I'm excited to see some skills on show, and hopefully we'll have an exciting game with a few goals. And like I said, hopefully my team can just edge Roberto's.
John, I'm sure you've been doing a lot of research about Nigeria before you get in for this Budweiser Game of Kings. What do you know about Nigerian football fans and the level of their passion?
I've seen the passion in some of the big tournaments, of course. I've obviously watched a lot of John Obi's games as well when we played together at Chelsea. And seen some videos. So Obi used to kind of video the supporters on the bus when the team were going to the hotels or going towards the stadium and those kind of bits. So listen, 100% clearly passionate about the game, about seeing good, entertaining football players playing at the highest level, and also supporting the national team as well as they do. So I'm excited to see that. I love the passion. That's what made me play as well as I could, having the Chelsea supporters behind me and cheering me. And I'm hoping to get a similar reception when we come over because, listen, I love you guys. I've never been. I'm excited to see Nigeria and the people.
All right. The young kids, the fans, will be there. I know you're here for the Budweiser Game of Kings, but I'm very sure some of the young lads would love to hear a few words from John Terry. Would there be time to say a few words of encouragement to the young lads who want to be a great defender, legend of the game like John Terry? Would there be the chance to encourage, maybe inspire some of them to be like you, maybe, or even better?
Yeah, well listen, a message to all the kids out there, hopefully watching this as well. We all love playing, whether that's over the park with our friends or in the street with our friends. I think the main thing is to practice and work very hard. There's no secret behind it. You can't get to the very top. You ask Roberto the same. You have to work very hard because there's probably a million kids in the world that want to play for the national team, that want to play for Chelsea, want to play for Real Madrid. You have to work extremely hard. You have to watch these. We're very lucky nowadays as well that you get all these super games with top players in the world on TV. Really sit there and watch what those players do. If you're a defender, watch what Van Dijk's doing, one of the best defenders in the world. If you're a left back, watch people like Ashley Cole, Roberto Carlos and those types of players. If you're a striker, watch Lukaku at Chelsea, watch what he does and how he does it. And can you incorporate that in your game? And like it always goes back to, and never forget to have fun. You have to have fun when you're playing. Play with a smile, give it your everything. And if you walk away, you lose the game, you can always look in the mirror and say, you know what, I tried my best. So that would be the best piece of advice I can give.
John, one of the side attraction of this Budweiser Game of Kings campaign is that fans have a chance to become managers and then, manage either your team or Roberto Carlos' team. And they said that the selected managers have a chance to come to the UK to watch a live English Premier League match. So tell me, John, what sort of unique experience would they get? You played in the English Premier League. What experience would they get coming to see a live Premier League game?
Yeah, it'd be incredible. It's everyone's dream, to come and watch a top Premier League game. So I can assure them, whoever gets the opportunity to come via Budweiser will make it a great experience. They'll get to see two top quality teams with some of the best players in the world. So listen, that's on offer, which is an added bonus, I think, to that. So hopefully they'll enjoy that experience, whoever's very lucky to be able to win that.
All
awesome.
right.
Thank you so much, John Terry. It was such a delight having you on the show. We can't wait to have you in Nigeria to see the fans and then share this unique experience with them. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Awesome. So that's it. Chelsea and England football legend John Terry speaking to us on Sports Tonight. And it's all about the Budweiser Game of Kings campaign. Beautiful, Yemi. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah. We will. I was about to ask. I didn't get the opportunity, but I'm good. I'm very sure when it comes to Nigeria. I'm trying to imagine that person that gets the chance to coach John Terry, and I was about to say, what's it like coaching John Terry? He's the only person that can answer that question. I'll probably get the opportunity to ask him that some other time. But, well, let's address the elephant in the room, Austin. That's where we're going next. The Super Eagles of Nigeria left a lot of the fans frustrated, left a lot of fans angry. But we have to pick the pieces. Like you said, it's not doom and gloom. We've been able to find ourselves in the playoff spot. And with 2 matches, we may just, and hopefully we will, qualify for the World Cup, the Mondial in Qatar. Let me bring Tolu Lokpe into this. And you said you were disappointed.
Well, of course, I was totally disappointed. Of course, seeing the way the team played, because I wasn't expecting them to play the way they played against the Cape Verdeans. But football, football is all about winning. A result is all about football. Yeah. So, though I remember at a point in time, because during the West Half era, when Eagles had a bad game, but there are 3 points in the in the bag. So, our wife feeding a question from a journalist. He said, you have to decide, which one you want: a good football with a defeat, a bad game with the result. You understand? But you also have to play, a good football. You understand? Because when you come up with a more tactical side, you understand? So, how best you play, may determine the outcome of the game. But let us let's appreciate the effort of the boys, because at the end of the day they were able to secure a point which they need to catapult them to the playoff. You understand? So, but now just as I said in your preamble, that of course we have to do a postmortem. You understand? So know exactly because where we are getting in strong and probably proffer a lasting solution, because playoff won't be it will be a team game. You understand?
Exactly.
So, because the superpowers in African football, we have to be paired alongside each other. Just as we have a Cameroon, are taking up the element of Cote d'Ivoire, of course. So I think to me, I say kudos to the boys, for putting smiles on the faces of every soccer-loving Nigerians. But we should remember that football, of course, stares at the imagination. You understand? So sometimes it makes people happy, and sometimes it makes them sad, depending on the receiving end, of course, side you are. But in all, I say kudos to whoever, to everybody associated with the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Okay. All right. That's a good place Tolu is leaving it. The boys, a few handshakes. The fans not particularly happy, but then again we have to put things in perspective. We did not lose that game, and because we did not lose that game, we are in the playoff spots. Then we can pick up the pieces and look at what can be done. Austin, I know we have just a few minutes to break. I'm very sure we are all in agreement that, look, it wasn't a vintage performance, but yet it's not doom and gloom. Sometimes you have to take the result, even if the performance is not up to scratch, even if the performance is not what you wanted. I'm personally disappointed with the performance, but I'll take a result over the performance any day.
Getting loads of comments on social media, yes, some Nigerian football fans, they've accepted this result. Some say, yes, it's not that gloomy. But what a lot of them are saying is, they can't see the light at the end of this tunnel. The same problems are still there. What's the style of the Super Eagles of Nigeria? Where is the hunger? Where is the fight?
Passion.
We're not playing purpose-driven football. Back in the day, without even saying back in the day, when a team is playing this sort of game, particularly this is the game they're playing after they lost to Central African Republic. Remember, I said that they have a lot to do to win back the fans, to win back loyalty, to win back followership, to say, I'm sorry, genuinely, this is the last game in this round of qualifiers, beat Cape Verde convincingly, and get fans loving you again, and get your next round of opponents to start, shaking even before they play you. So these are the questions, that I'm going around, and it tells you that there's still a lot of work to be done. Coach General and his technical crew, I don't know, I think it's a lot of psychological work. They need to find a way to talk to these players. It was a perfect start. First minute, boom, beautiful goal scored by Victor Osimhen, who, by the way, he was active today. Give him the ball at the right time. He puts on the speed dial and is running. But this Super Eagles team needs to start flying. They need to get results when they need to get them.
Yeah, they need to do that, and I quite agree with you, Austin. There's a lot to unpack. We're going to continue with our post-mortem of this game and the likely scenarios we might find ourselves with regards to the playoff. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll continue our post-mortem of that game and also take a sneak peek at what is currently going on in Europe and, of course, in Africa, talking about the qualifiers for the 2022 FIFA World Cup. All right. Sometimes when you watch those clips over and over, you have to calm down. You have to calm down so that tempers don't fly. My colleague in the studio telling me we considered a very, very cheap goal, and you don't do that. You don't do that, and I mean it's nightmarish if you're thinking of the playoffs and you're imagining if you concede that kind of goal in a situation where there's no coming back. All right, Austin is still with us as well. We're doing this together from start to finish, and we're doing the post-mortem. Austin, you were filling us in with some of your thoughts, and Tolu Okwe has said it off air, and we saw that goal that we conceded, and it reminds me of what you said. The danger signs are still there. You're not creating chances. You're scoring scrappy goals, and you're conceding goals. Those three things are quite worrisome.
Very, very worrisome, Yemi. And if you check the time they conceded, you scored an early goal. The fans are now pumped up, and then 5 minutes later, you're conceding. And you can't afford to do this in the playoffs. It will hurt you so bad. So these are the things that Coach Gernot Raw and the Super Eagles team must work on. And good timing, good positioning by Victor Osimhen, clinical finish. But look at this. Truth Ekong, is he doing at the back of a striker, of a player, and he's coming, running ahead of you, and he's finishing. It was just a moment of, distraction, and that goal went in. Let's just be thankful that we're on top of the table. We ended with 13 points, Cape Verde with 11. We know everything that happened with this qualifying campaign. So that's the table right there for Group C. Let me get Tolu talking. Tolu, we've just been talking about the Super Eagles team, but this Cape Verde team, how much praise do they deserve?
Okay, for me, in looking at the goal Nigeria considered against the Cape Verdeans, so I think Ekong didn't do enough. He wasn't really close. Of course, on his opponent, it allowed him to easily get to the ball. Of course, and a bit the goalkeeper. Of course, it was a very cheap goal. Of course, we shouldn't be considering this type of goal if at all. We aim to dominate African football. For years, because now moving forward, you understand. So I think we have to, sit down, look at where we're getting it wrong. A team, that is not creating, chances, find it difficult, scoring goals and conceding, goals at cheap goals. Of course. Now look at it. The game we played against Liberia on Saturday. You understand. So I didn't mean that we were not awarded the 2 penalties. Who knows? We might not have scored goal from the open play, you understand? And with plethora of strikers, of course, at the disposal, we have a Paul Onuachu, very good in the air, you understand? So I don't know why the coach, keeps him on the bench. Now we also have we also have Samuel Chukwueze. Now the question I am asking is this. It is, it goes beyond inviting players to the national team, to come and don the green color. You understand? So now, a coach, if you know you don't need this particular player, why bring him in? You understand? Let him be. You understand? Now, Chukwueze is just coming back from injury. Everybody knows that. You understand? So, and Emery, is using him sparingly. You understand? So, wanting him to, recover. To recover. Now, you brought him to the team. The first leg against when we played against Liberia on Saturday, he didn't feature in the game. He was on the bench. You understand? Now everybody thought maybe he might have maybe 10 to 15 minutes against Cape Verde. Yet on the bench? Why bring him in? Why not allow him, to relax
and play somebody
exactly?
who
You understand?
use that opportunity.
Now, just like the last game we played against the CAR in Lagos and in Cameroon. Yeah, you brought a certain Calvin Bassey, from Rangers. The guy didn't feature. Now the guy, of course, was not invited this time around. It goes to tell you that no Nigerian, of course, I can say, yeah, this is the Super Eagles starting 11 anytime the Eagles, of course, are playing. You understand? Now, 5 years on the job, we are here to see, the kind of Super Eagles we desire. You understand? So nobody can say, okay, this is the exact pattern, the Super Eagles play. All we see them play is, of course, just playing the ball around as if primary school boys, are kicking the football around.
Austin asked a question, and I'm very interested in listening to you answering that question.
Okay.
We played a draw. The Super Eagles didn't play well, but should we also consider the fact that these guys come from Cape Verde are maybe better than we think they are?
Looking at it very well, the Cape Verdeans are not, spectacular, to me, and they are not that exciting. So, we just allow them make a means of ourselves. So we allow them,
to look good.
Yeah, to look good. We allow them think, they are superstars. You understand? Now look at FIFA ranking. So they are nowhere to be found, as far as football is concerned against Nigeria and the continent of Africa.
In comparison, yeah.
Yes, but we find difficult navigating their hurdles, you understand? So if not, for the sheer brilliance of Victor Osimhen, this, we wouldn't be saying
another story.
This, you understand? But now, looking at it, yeah, so what do we want to achieve, going forward with the Super Eagles? What is the plan? You understand? Nations Cup is standing out at face. Is this kind of football, we're going to Cameroon to play? You understand? Now, playoff. How do we navigate through the playoff? You understand? It's a very big minefield.
Yes.
And of which we have to navigate. You understand?
All right.
Now, so all hands must be
on deck. Even though the time is very short. Let me go back to Austin. There's a temptation to stay on this matter, even though we have a lot of ground to cover. There is that interesting situation in Group B and Group D, but it appears like Tunisia, they've taken their destiny is in their own hands now. They're currently pummeling Zambia, and that should be enough for them. For Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire, it's going to be fight to finish. About 60-something minutes of football played, and the Cameroonians are leading. But first, let's digest what we have on screen. 8 teams have qualified for the final playoff round to get to the World Cup in Qatar. And the good news is, in spite of how we played today, the good news is that we are on that list, and that is heartwarming. Egypt, Morocco, Mali, Ghana, Senegal, DR Congo, Nigeria, Algeria. Then 2 teams at the end of today will join these 8 teams, and it's going to be 10. And I'm already seeing a lot of permutations. So people are already turning themselves to prayer warriors and praying, give us Mali, give us DR Congo. And the question is, can you beat those teams when you play? But it's interesting. It's interesting. There are some teams on this list I don't even want us to play against. But do you agree, or are you praying like those other fans who are saying, God give us DR Congo, God give us Mali, Austin? I don't know if you're having those thoughts as well.
No, I'm not. Maybe because I'm a sports journalist and I get to look at different sides, when analyzing, sports, particularly football. For the regular fan, it's just about his team. That's why I had to ask Tolu, this Cape Verde team, is it that they don't deserve any praise? Because before this game, they were on a good run. And they checked it that if Central African Republic can come to Lagos and beat Nigeria, then they can do the same. And you can see the way the Blue Sharks played today. They were nowhere scared of the Eagles. They didn't respect them. They were coming all out. They were opening, giving us the runs, getting into the spaces, And it's a clear testament of where African football is going. No more small teams. Disregard the FIFA ranking. Teams have beginning to see need to up the game now, you know. And so, with the playoffs, look, it's a different look and feel. It's a different spirit that will operate. You know, then you might give Nigeria Egypt, and Nigeria, we come out like a beast, you know, and advance. Look at what we did to Cameroon to qualify for the last World Cup. That's football for you. But I'm saying that they must put the work, and it must be smart work. It must be intentional and deliberate planning. We have seen a lot of cracks in this Super Eagles team. There must be something Coach Gernot Rohr and the technical crew must do that will be special to turn things around for the Super Eagles team. Look, this qualifying round is gone. The next phase is crucial. So we'll not have chance to talk. 10 teams, 5 will go to the World Cup. For you to be part of that 5, the work starts now.
Well, yeah, you have to beat anybody that is placed before you.
Yeah.
Anybody, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. Now, so at this point, Tony,
let's pause a little and take a look at the situation report, other results. Some matches have been concluded, some are currently going on. Let's start with the ones that have been concluded today. Let's take a look at those results. And we're looking at the African continent. Nigeria in Group C, Nigeria, Cape Verde ended 1-1. Liberia defeated Central African Republic 3-1. In Group D, one of the groups we're talking about, Mozambique and Malawi, it was a dead rubber. Nothing was going to happen.
Of course.
Mozambique won that game. But this one currently going on. If he ends this way, the elephants are the elephants are how the lions, the indomitable lions will pick it. If he ends this way, but there's still a lot of football to be played. So we have to wait and see. Egypt defeated Gabon 2-1. The true Libya and Angola was a 1-1 draw. Algeria and Burkina Faso. That's the result that you have on your screen. Ended 2-2. Of course, Algeria booking their slot in the playoff round. Mauritania and Equatorial Guinea. This is very interesting. Equatorial Guinea, before this game, had their destiny in their own hands. Yes. Because if they go all out, defeat Mauritania, by some, they could have qualified. But now, I mean, they just, Tunisia blowing Zambia, and they are currently trailing Mauritania, so it's not in their hands. They were tied on points with Tunisia. Now it appears like Tunisia are running away with it. Let me get your thoughts on some of these results. We'll get back to Austin in a bit, but your thoughts on this result, particular emphasis on those two groups where we are looking at what is going to happen. Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon,
Group G and Group B.
Yeah, but in this case, it looks like Tunisia, just the Carthage Eagles.
Yeah, taking a look at Group D, where we have 2 of the.
Okay, that's the update for you. Equatorial Guinea and Mauritania. Well, it's going to get interesting. They've pulled one goal back, so we'll see 77 minutes of football played. 77 minutes of football played. So it's going to be tough, but they need a lot of goals.
Of course, but reflecting on the Group D, where we have 2 of the African
powerhouses.
Of course, Cameroon and
Cote d'Ivoire.
It's quite unfortunate, that
one of them,
of course, have to go back home. You understand? So, but I think it's good for football. You understand? So, if you have 2 of the best team, are facing each other. You understand? So, and the best team, with the best of preparations, at the end of the day, get at the 3 points and move on. But looking at Cote d'Ivoire, I think the Ivorians, of course, are a bit depleted because Javinho is out of the team, so on injury bed. So while Wilfred Zaha say, for now, of course, he's out of the team because anytime he comes to Africa to represent Cameroon, so and he goes back to with malaria or something like that. You understand? So, but that shouldn't be a yardstick. You understand? Because they are a powerhouse. It's a World Cup qualifiers, and every team on the African continent, want to grace at the World Cup because they're the biggest, football fiesta in the world. So, yeah, aside the FIFA World Cup, there is no any other,
There's nothing.
exactly.
There's nothing
so, but it's football, as I said. So, and remember I said, sometimes, of course, it makes you sad, and sometimes, it makes you.
If you are winning,
exactly.
If you are losing,
and when two power, how of course, face each other. They have to give it their all. And at the end of the day, the best team, of course, get the 3 points. Now, going to Group B, we have Tunisia, of course, dueling it with Equatorial Guinea. I think Equatorial Guinea, their last game I saw, of course, they played quite a good football. Of course, I gave it to them, but knowing fully well that you are on the verge, of course, of making history, getting to the playoff. So you have your destiny, of course, in your hand, but you don't allow it to slip off your hand like that.
It looks like it's slipping off now.
Yeah, it's slipping off. So.
It's slipping off. Let's Austin. I mean, you've seen these results as well, and I know you're monitoring. It will be interesting to get your thoughts as well, as we all try to rub minds and look at all of these things. It looks like Tunisia is running away with it, but Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, anything can still happen.
Of course.
Yeah, anything can still happen, and as I said, this is a clear indication that there are no small teams anymore in African football. I understand that fans can be entitled, particularly fans of these big teams, but they need to know that these smaller teams also, they are dreaming. They also want to be at the World Cup. For instance, among these two countries, which is a better footballing country, Zambia or Equatorial Guinea? But Equatorial Guinea is having a better performance in that group than Zambia. Zambia is ranked 91 in the world. Equatorial Guinea is about 134, 135. They don't come close in any way, but Equatorial Guinea has done better with this qualifiers. So things are changing. It's about time that countries that feel that they are big with their football, they need to get bigger, because the smaller guys want to get big, because it is changing. And this is what Emmanuel Amunike was trying to tell us the other day on the show about these biennial FIFA World Cup plans, to give smaller teams an opportunity to have a taste of the World Cup, and I think this is where FIFA is going with this, because if you take a look at what's even going on in that Tunisia group, some persons will say Equatorial Guinea also deserve to, be part of the mix and all of that. So for Africa, I think the big teams need to get bigger, need to put in more work. Otherwise, man, we'll keep saying this side of football. Cape Verde will be kicking themselves, because I think they were very decent through the qualifiers, And if you look at what happened to them when they played the Super Eagles in September, they were their own problem. They scored 2 goals. In fact, I think they scored 3 goals. Otherwise, if they had drawn that match or even win it, I don't know what Tolu will be saying by now.
No, it's not just Tolu. I don't know what all of us will be saying by now.
Tolu is the analyst who's trying to tell us that the Super Eagles should have done this.
We can hide our emotions.
You won't even come to the studio.
The truth be told, of all the 7 teams, of course, that have qualified to the playoff, I don't see how Super Eagles, will scale their hurdle if paired against one of the 7 teams. Truth be told, you understand? So our Super Eagles are right now, they can't scale through their hurdle, you understand? Wow. So because we play, let me say, we play the best of football in Africa, you understand? Look at the way they play. The way they play, of course, does not reminisce, the Eagles, of course, we know yesterday. The Eagles we saw 5 years ago. The Eagles we saw 3 years ago.
All right. Okay. I don't know. Totally cracking me up. But, Austin, I don't know. Where else you want us to go? I know we're going to be breaking about a minute, but what are the other areas you want to touch upon?
Yeah, I think we should just continue with these qualifiers. Stay closely with this playoff. When we get the 2 remaining teams to make up 10 from Africa, and then see from the Nigerian angle what teams can we play. I hear people saying Mali. Some other persons are saying DR Congo. Go back and check them in this round. How did they perform? What's their confidence level? Is it about sustaining the momentum for them? Because with what we've seen, to an extent, the Super Eagles did struggle against Cape Verde, Liberia, and Central African Republic. Yemi Tolu let that sink to let it remind us how much work we still need to do as we get ready for the playoffs. Because if those cracks are not adjusted, if we don't get the right mood into the playoffs, I don't know. It's going to be very tough, because what we saw today, I struggle to find the adjectives to qualify what I saw today. Yeah, me and Tolu.
All right. Well, I'm lost for words. I'm in your shoes, but I'm lost for words as well. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return from that break, we'll check up on UEFA, what's going on with the qualifiers in Europe, and also give you a slice of tennis as we prepare to wrap things up on the show. But that will be when we return from this break. All right, welcome back. We're in the home stretch now, and we're taking a look. We're doing a post-mortem of what happened today, while we're doing a post-mortem of the performance of the Super Eagles, in spite of the fact that it must be said they have secured a place, a playoff spot. But then again, you cannot ignore the quality of the performance today. It wasn't desirable. Truth must be said. But then again, silver lining, we have secured our spot in the playoff. And there are situations where you have to take the result sometimes ahead of the performance that you would have wanted. We didn't get the performance we wanted, but we got the result we needed. So that kind of balances out in that one. All right, Tolu, in Europe, some of the people who defend the Super Eagles will tell us, look at what happened to Portugal, look at what happened to Italy.
Anyway.
But my issue is always, must we always be in the company of those who have struggles?
Yeah, it gave me concern because when I see some section of Nigerian fans, saying at least it also happened to social country in Europe. No, we are not in the same class, with the Portuguese national team. So because we can't, be compared the Super Eagles to, the Portuguese.
I want to pause you. I want to quickly pause you. There's something the viewers would love to see, would love to listen to. Coach Genotro, his immediate reaction after the Super Eagles secured a playoff spot, his analysis of the performance of the Super Eagles today. Here's Coach Genotro.
No problem. It was a good match. We had a draw. It's like a victory today. Some of the people were afraid to have the same scenario like Portugal yesterday. So we wanted to avoid it. And they did very well. They defended well. Today the draw is like a victory. We are qualified for the next step in the World Cup. We can continue to dream. Yeah, of course. For the first game of Igalo, we need more harmony. We need more time to play together, to work together.
I think it's good, the first leg wasn't easy. And of course, we know how to play and we know that they have quality players in their team. And it's important to be at the top of our game to get this kind of result to qualify to the final round. And I'm really happy about this.
All right, Coach Kenneth Raw. Let me pass the ball to Austin. I want to keep my lips sealed. Austin, no, I won't put words in your mouth. Your thoughts?
I think it said the things that he should say as a coach, that they needed to do the things they had to do, and that's to get to the next round of the qualifiers. He also made a comment about Igalo. He's a coach, he will always defend, his selection and, the players executed the match. But you also listen to Victor Osimhen. He said the same thing, that we're on top of the group and we've advanced, So let's take whatever they have said, and just hope that this team will improve. I know a lot of criticisms are flying all over because of the performance today. But let's look at the bright side and say that the Super Eagles of Nigeria made it to the playoffs. But let me get Tolu talking. Tolu, Odion Ihalo played. It started today. And listening to Coach General, was that selection justified?
Yeah, Saint Odion Igalo, played that today for the first time after 2 years, of absence in the team. I think I didn't see anything good in his performance. I must say the truth because I don't know why the coach brought him into the team, but I said his experience is much needed, for the younger players, to get going. but nothing. I didn't see anything in his play today. It should have allowed, of course, those who have trained very well, Pierre Osimhen in the past, like Paul Onuachu on the bench, because sometimes we play, of course, from the wing, and the wingers, sometimes lobby the ball into the box. Nobody to connect at the ball, of course, in the air, save John. Victor Osimhen, John Igalo was just let me say a spectator, of course, on the pitch, not knowing where I actually need to to run to, or maybe to get the ball from, because but the coach, as you said, we always defend. You said they should give him time to train well with the team. Give him time. Is he coming to the team for the first time? He's not a starter. He has played with these boys in the past, so he should get of course he should hit the ground running. I expected him to lead at the attack very well, but what I saw from Igalo this evening in the game against Cape Verde is nothing, purely nothing to write home about.
All right. Well, we're pressed for time. Time always flies when you're having fun. Let's check out what's happening in Europe as we prepare to leave the studio. Situation report, live results in Europe. These matches are currently going on. France and Finland locked, goalless. Czech Republic and Estonia, goalless. Wales and Belgium, 1 apiece. Netherlands and Norway. Tricky situation for the Netherlands. They must win this game to secure qualification. They'll keep their eyes on the next game. Montenegro and Turkey, it's 1 goal apiece. All of this match is currently going on live in the European qualification zone. We're talking about the 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, and that's a good place to leave it. We're about to leave the studio. Tolu, I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Hopefully we'll do this again some other time.
Of course, thank God, we are in the playoff, of course. Otherwise, we won't be saying all this. But, we should, prepare very hard, because we are going, we now find ourselves in a very tough field, where we must do everything humanly possible, to navigate safely.
All right. All right, so that's good to hear. All right, that's the show today. We do hope that you've enjoyed everything we've been able to bring to you. We need to pick ourselves up. Wasn't what we wanted, but of course, we're in the playoff spots. That's the show today. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.
So that's it. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I can see it, but I can't show you now because the Super Eagles need to show you guys. That's the show in London. I'm Austin Okonakwa. Everything you do, remember, keep talking sports life for now.